A lot of us are good at what we do, UI, UX designers and graphic designers alike. But what sets us apart from any other person is our presentation skills. In order to get a job as a designer, you need to have a strong portfolio to show what you've been doing and, the problems you solved as a UI, UX designer, or the designs you've made and how you've been able to communicate ideas and information, be it for marketing or for campaigns, to the audience using your designs, and also your design process. This is where curating a case study comes in. If you noticed, I didn't say designing, I said curating. The chances of getting hired is not only dependent on, your design. An aesthetically pleasing case study won't impress your recruiter except it is useful. A lot goes into creating a case study for, your completed projects. And if you're new to design, it might be overwhelming at your first try. That's why in this video, I will cover steps that I take to build a UX case study that is not only pleasing to the eye, but also communicates the scope of a project and your design approach. Before I go in depth into the main topic of this video, once again, my name is Bright Izium. I'm a graphic designer and also a product designer. Without wasting too much of our time, let's tackle the problem at hand, our UX case study. What I usually do is to break down my case study into two parts. There's the content structure and the design. First, let's tackle the content structure of our case study. This is where our UX documentation comes in. By the way, if you do not document your UI and UX design process, it's bad practice. I advise that you try to document your design process in subsequent projects. From the contents of my UX documentation and design, using my desired tools, be it Figma, Google Docs, InDesign, whatever tool you're comfortable with, just to create a simple outline, I advise you to use it just to get and structure your content before you go on to design. First, I will start with introduction. Here, I talk about my project or the company I'm building the project for. Then I'll go on to talk about the problem. In some case studies, it's called the problem statement. But whichever way you want to put it, make sure whoever is looking at your case study knows that this is the problem statement. Then after the problem statement, I go on to align the goals that we're aiming to achieve with this project. After this phase has been cleared out, we're going to talk about our design process. For me, my design process has been segmented into 4 parts: discover, define, develop, and deliver. In the discovery phase, I introduce my ideal user, talk about the research methods that I used. I also talk about the insights gotten from research and how I understood the problem. In the definition phase, I talk about the solution, and this is where I get to show my using flows, content strategy, and wireframes. Pardon me, I use paper wireframes because it helps for easy iteration. Under the define phase, I also show my low fidelity clickable prototype. Then we move on to the development phase. In that development phase, I present my branding choices, typography, colors, and my entire design system. Then we go on to the delivery phase. In the delivery phase, I show my final work. Then I'm going to talk about insights gotten from usability testing. So after we've tackled the content structure, how do we go on to put all this content into an aesthetically pleasing design? In my experience, I've had a couple of design fundamentals guide me through this process. I use a lot of white space, show mock-ups of the products in use, and above all, I employ the use of grids. For this reference case study, I use the modular grid, the column grid, axial grid, and the diagonal grid. So that'll be all for this video on curating, creating, preparing, or designing a case study. If you made it to the end of this video, it's a sign that you got value from this video. So I beg you to just do me a favor and do yourself a favor too by liking this video and subscribing to this channel so that when I post valued content that will be of help for you in your designing career, you get notified and, grow along with me, because I'm still in my growing phase. Thank you. My name is Sri Bright, and peace.